What's going on, ladies? It's Friday. It's Friday, ladies and gentlemen, and on Monday, we start a brand new conquest. I've had a chance to look through all the feats that are required for this new conquest, and it doesn't look too bad. So I thought I would give you my thoughts on how we best go about trying to hit that red box and earn ourselves a little bit of a Mazkanata. She's amazing. Let's do this. First and foremost, we have already had the hard mode conquest feats data mined. I think it was about a week ago now on the Swugger Events Discord. Make sure you do go join those people. They're amazing, amazing people. But I've taken the opportunity to look through all these sectors and let's get a little bit of a case-by-case basis, sector-by-sector guide on what to do, teams to use, some ideas for you. Let's get going. So the first feat that we need to get done is inflict doubt on enemies 60 times. Now it doesn't say attempt to, it says inflict. The easiest person to inflict doubt with is going to be Dr. Aphra. Her second special, I believe, is an AoE doubt ability. Okay, so go out there, throw doubt on absolutely everybody. There are only a couple of characters that have this, but she is the best. Now, what I will say is there is a little bit of a side bonus here. We also need to attempt to inflict stagger 60 times in this sector, and a brand new conquest unit, SM33 or SME, is able to stagger on a basic. He's also a dark side droid scoundrel, so you could in fact throw SME inside this team instead of either IG-88 or even instead of Vader or someone like that in order to double dip on those feats, and using those sorts of advantages is going to be of benefit to you in the long run. Another team that's able to get doubt done is going to be Malgus. That's right, the Sith Empire Lord. He is able to inflict doubt only on a single target inside of Conquest in GAC with her armies. You know, you can spread a little bit more, but in this case, he can only do it to a single target, so not as efficient as Aphra. However, if you're going full Sith Empire in this squad, you are able to get some additional staggers from Basti. She has got AoE staggers, so it kind of balances itself out in that respect. When it comes to stagger though, there is one individual that does it particularly well, and that is actually Veteran Smuggler Han Solo. This guy actually does it on a basic. So there are instances where you can actually cheese this feat in one battle, basically. If you can find yourself maybe a Kylo Ren unmasked team, you know, him inside of a First Order team, or even a Droideka that's in damage immunity, you could use like a CLS team, or you can use a BAM team over here with Dash Han and Chewie and Thrawn, and you go into auto basic once you've got basically an unkillable unit, and you will eventually get all of your staggers. Should be done in one battle, not too bad. Within this sector, we also need to evade 100 attacks in battles that we win, okay? Easiest way to get this done is through Rey. GL Rey is able to ramp up mastery for a bunch of allies who have evasion as their mastery. I just noticed I've got Shakti twice here. Replace Shakti for Ezra Bridger Exile if you have him. Failing that, throw in Grandmaster Yoda. Absolutely fine. So having foresight doesn't necessarily count as evading. They have to try to hit you and they have to miss, right? Hermit Yoda is also a very useful unit, particularly if you have the data disk Voluntary Vanguard. If you've got Voluntary Vanguard with Hermit Yoda, you can actually manipulate your stats to make Hermit Yoda be the one that gains the taunt, essentially. And because he has 100% evasion while he's stealthed, and the start of the battle when he gets that marked, essentially, from Voluntary Vanguard, he is unhittable. So if you go against a team like Geonosians, or if you go against a team like Mon Mothma or Imperial Troopers, you will get all 100 evasions in like a minute, because they'll keep on trying to hit Yoda and they can't hit him. That bug did exist in the last round of Conquest. Not sure if it's still there, but it's one to keep in mind. Apart from that, use Rey in a team against a team that has got a lot of turn meter gains. Again, Geonosians, Imperial Troopers, Mon Mothma teams, anything that generates a heck of a lot of TM, throw in Rey with a bunch of the evasion mastery characters. In this case, I've got Shakti and Cal Kestis. Other ones might be Captain Han, might be Ezra Bridger Exile. There are a number of different light side characters. Every time the enemy is gaining turn meter, whilst those characters have got inspiration, they're going to increase their mastery, which will increase their evasion rate, and eventually you will be unhittable. Jedi Training Rey is another really, really good one. So Rey is the key here. Failing that, use Jedi with Grandmaster Yoda and Hermit Yoda. Just spread a bunch of foresight. Super, super handy. Next up, we need to win 10 battles with Depa Billaba surviving. Now, I've come up with a couple of teams here. Obviously, the first one is a little bit of a no-brainer. That is for everybody that's wailed on Jedi Master Mace Windu. Just use Jedi Master Mace Windu and you'll be okay. That first team as well has the added benefit of being able to double dip on global feats to get 20 wins with Jedi Vanguard. Failing that, just throw your low gear depper into high damaging teams that are able to attack immediately. So anything with Han and Chewie, even just a full CLS team, is able to get that ball rolling. With BAM in the leadership, you gain a bunch of turn meter every time your Scoundrel allies are dealing damage, so it helps you get that ball rolling. Failing that, using Conquest Maul with Wat Tambor, you can trigger the Frenzy with Maul at the start, throw in Canderous and Django, and you'll get a lot of turn meter gains and a lot of damage. So you should be able to survive by virtue of just defeating the enemy team before they take a turn. Alternatively, just go in with all of your GLs and win with Depot there. It's not too hard. Sector 2 then. The first thing that we need to do, we need to win 10 battles with both Omega Fugitive and Bachelor surviving. This one is a little bit awkward because they both need to survive. If it's just in with battles, you don't have to worry so much. Let's talk about it though. Same principle as what we were talking about before when we were talking about using Depa Balava and surviving. You need to go in with teams that attack quickly, attack first, and hit hard. So I've gone with Bam, Han, and Chewie with these two as additionals. These guys will start the ball rolling. The ball rolling, I can English, guys. And then that TM generation should be good. If you've got some good data discs, it should be able to help you pull through. If you've got Reaver and you have things like Amplify Agony, Volatile Accelerator, Reaver will basically win the battle as it begins because she will put doubt on the enemy team. They will then take damage from Amplify Agony and you will basically kill them before they can do anything. Finally, you can always use JML. Throw in Wat Tambor to force the taunt over there and then just have yourself one Jedi to constantly call to assist and to heal up the team and all that good business. There are other teams that you can use to get this done. The most important part is you have to go quickly. And bear in mind, this is just basically for people that do not have well built out new Bad Batch. If you've got new Bad Batch built out, just use full Bad Batch because that will count as global feats as well. Next up, we have Daze. We need to apply Daze 40 times to the enemy or attempt to inflict Daze. Now, if you've got Lord Vader, it's super easy. You'll get it done. His first AoE does an AoE Daze to the entire enemy team. You'll get through it super quickly. I've also thrown out a new Bad Batch team and just thrown in Echo instead of having Crosshair, simply because this OG Echo is able to put out AoE Daze right at the start, and he's got a fast base speed. This will also work on your global feats as well, but not only that, we do have other teams that can do this. For example, we got teams that can do Daze and buff immunity, because another feat that we need to get done in this sector is buff immunity 40 times. Easiest one to get it done for Daze, using an Adrad team against any Empire team. Particularly something like Imperial Troopers, okay? Because under Adrad's leadership, whenever an enemy Empire character gains turn meter out of turn, they're going to get dazed and they can't resist it. So taking in Adrad against something like Imp Troopers that immediately gain a bunch of turn meter, you will daze them immediately, right? The benefit of this as well, Cassian does buff immunity on a basic, so you can double dip in this team. You can also use Phoenix in this. Captain Rex has got an AoE Daze on his second special, easily have his cooldowns reduced by Chopper. Chopper, when he basics, has a chance to reduce the cooldowns on your Phoenix allies. I've thrown in B2 there because he's got an AoE buff immunity. That's the long and short of that, really. The only other feat you really have to worry about within this sector is to win 20 battles without losing units. I'm not going to give you individual teams for that because it should be relatively straightforward. You should get at least some of them as you use some of these teams progressing through the sector. Next up, Sector 3. The first feat that we have is Inflict Disarm 15 times. There's only a handful of characters that can inflict disarm right now, and I've put them up at the top here. It's going to be CX2, the new Darkside Clone Trooper. Santi was the first person to introduce it, and then you've got Wrecker. If you were to throw CX2 within this team over here, this Rex lead, Wat Tambor, you've got Thrawn and you've got Malak, you'll get it done pretty easily, especially if you go up against a team like Crew, okay? Anything that's going to last a long time, damage immunity, droidicas, that sort of thing, taking in a team like this, you can get Malak to tank most of the damage, particularly if you've got Voluntary Vanguard, he'll definitely tank infinitely. You've then got characters like Thrawn, you can pass turns over to CX2 or to Santi or to Wrecker, and you can get those disarms rolling. Obviously, you can just use a full Lord Vader team, absolutely fine. That's going to get you your disarm with CX2. Just make sure you use his special when it is available. Not ideal, but you will eventually get it done. Typically, you're only going to use that disarm once or twice a battle unless you do this first team here against a team that's going to last a long time. Finally, I do have Jabba the Hutt. Now, something I will say about Jabba the Hutt is he does also have blind on his basic, and this sector does have feats for getting blind. The only thing I would say right at the end here, only thinking of this now, drop that ambo out and throw in Cad Bane. There is a global feat to inflict accuracy down, I think it's 100 times, so take out Embo, throw in Cad Bane who does that on a basic, and you're triple dipping on feats there. You could also go into the Lord Vader team and just take out Scorch, throw in anything that's not a tank, and you'll be able to get the no tanks feat done as well. And you'll be able to get the win with 3 Darkside Clone Troopers feats. These are global feats. Next up, blinds and no tanks. CLS in general, very strong team to take in. It never has any tanks unless you throw in Old Ben, so they can usually clear just about anything in Conquest, provided you've got pretty good data discs. Chupio over here, on his first special, is able to do an AoE blind. Super handy. If you go up against like a First Order crew node, or maybe you go up against a Droidica in damage immunity, well, you won't be able to do that with this one, actually. It needs to be crew. You'll be able to farm out all of those blinds in one battle. Now, I've thrown in Fulcrum here as an optional 5th. The reason I've thrown her in is there is also a sector feat here to get 35 kills with Spectre units. She happens to be a rebel as well, so will benefit some of CLS's synergy, and she does a lot of damage, so you could probably get some decent kills with her. Now, if you are struggling to get Spectre kills, you could just use Jedi Master Luke to use any of the Spectre faction, obviously not GL Ahsoka Tano. If you have her, I'm sure you'll be fine. But any one of these, you can just throw in with JML as well. Use his inherited teachings to get the kills with them. They don't even need any gear, realistically speaking, as long as your JML is able to call them to assist and get them to defeat enemies. Shouldn't be too bad. Now, of course, there are a number of teams that you can go in with no tanks. Imperial Troopers is one of them that can be pretty good. CLS is another really good one. You can also do it with stuff like Night Sisters. Just make sure you don't take in Zombie. A number of teams. I didn't want to go out and exhaust all of those options available to you. Moving on to Sector 4 then, there are a number of feats that we got to do in Sector 4, and a lot of them are double or triple dippable. So let's take a look. What do we need to get done? We need to have health steal up, we need to have tenacity down, and we need to have damage over times. One of those feats, one of those teams I've got here can actually tackle all of the feats, basically. Having a Palpatine lead with Mara Jade, you can throw in Visas if you want, and you can throw in Kira if you want. As long as you've got Vader as well, you have a source of each of them, okay? So Vader does dots all the time, obviously, with his first special. Palpatine, with his second special, Cackling Doom, passes health steal up to the entire team, and Mara Jade is able to do an AoE tenacity down with her first special. So all of these characters combined can hit all of these big feats. You need health steal up 60 times, tenacity down 50 times, and then you need 300 damage over times. So using this sort of team, you will get it done as you progress through the sector, or you can find a team that just will not die, like a crew team, and get it done continually. Now, Visas Ma can do health steal up to the whole team as well when she does that first special, and Kira does it when allies and herself critically hit more than one enemy in a turn, right? She's going to gain prepared, she's going to gain health steal up. It's really not so bad. You could, of course, throw them into other teams that have a little bit more synergy, but this is like a key team to get it done. Failing that, just use CLS. Chewbacca will put tenacity down on a basic. So do characters like Crew, I believe, and Malak. Lots of characters do it on a basic. Shouldn't be too hard to get those tenacity downs on this team. Now, there is other feats to do with winning with Crosshair Scarred, surviving 10 times. Use the same approach as before when we were looking at Omega and Batcher. Take in teams that are going to start early, like Reaver Inquisitors, CLS, like any of your GLs. Throw a Tank Tech on JML if you have him. That sort of thing. Bam Dash Chewie, that sort of thing, you know? And you can get those wins in without losing that unit. This is particularly easier if you've got a really solid set of data discs on you. Moving on to Sector 5, there's a couple of feats that we need to get done here. First of all, we need to attempt to inflict Order 66 15 times. You can do this in one battle by using this first team up here, just a CLS team. Use a CLS team, go up against a crew node, make sure you don't have anything to ramp your damage, and you could literally just put it on auto basic and win. I throw in Old Ben here because his first special is an AoE ability block. You might as well get those ability blocks while you're getting there, because you need to get yourself, 60 ability blocks in this sector anyway. Put it on full auto and or auto basic if you want, and you'll be able to get this feat done in no time at all, realistically speaking. Just target that crew node, make sure you have no data discs that are going to ramp your damage. Similarly speaking, Riposte, the easiest person to get it done with is going to be New Bad Batch Omega. Her second special passes Riposte out to all of her allies, so you'll be able to get yourself 5 Ripostes in one go. Failing that, you could use someone like Dooku, Ezra Bridger Exile, or Cal Kestis. These guys all get riposte. So does Malakos, for example, on his first special. It will be a little bit slower, but these are also cheesable. You can find a team like that crew team, throw in one of these guys, and just slowly but surely build up those stacks of riposte. It shouldn't be too difficult to get through there. So you need Order 66 15 times, riposte 40 times, ability block 60 times, and then finally you need to win 10 battles with at least 3 pirates. Now, a lot of people are going to have stuff like Hondo, a lot of people are going to have stuff like Nest, you might have Sana Staros. Failing that, it's going to be the new pirates. Luckily, the 10 battles with 3 pirates, the pirates do not need to survive. So you can always go on the bonus node at the end and just use your best team with 3 pirates, let them die, and just try and win the battle organically with your strongest units. Finally, we have the global feats. We have got a number of feats that require you to use particular teams or factions and get wins with them. First of all, Jedi Vanguard. You need to win 20 battles with a full squad of Jedi Vanguard. Obviously, if you've got the Jedi Master Mace Windu team, use that. If not, Kelleran Beck is going to be your best shout. You might want to use Qui-Gon Jinn. However, I feel Qui-Gon Jinn isn't quite as powerful as Kelleran Beck in terms of viability. Go into the Sector 1 bonus node, farm your Datacrons, and use these. All you have to do is use get 2 wins with these teams every single day of Conquest, and you will get this feat. You don't have to worry about stamina consumption because you'll regenerate it every day. Just remember to get 2 battles in with each of the Jedi Vanguard teams every day, or just one of them every day. You also need to get 20 battles won with 3 Darkside clone troopers in your squad, so they don't have to survive. Again, you just need to win 20 battles with them. There are only 4 Darkside clones, pick any 3 and try and get those wins in. Do it on bonus nodes. Again, if you do 2 battles every single day as you're going through Conquest with at least 3 Darkside clone troopers, over time, you will finish this feat by the end of Conquest. Not too bad. Finally, you need New Omega to survive 20 battles. Now, you'll be doing Omega battles in Sector 2 anyway, and she needs to survive, so you will get at least half of those by doing the Sector 2 feats. So big double dipping opportunity there. After that, I would just go into the bonus node at the end of Sector 1, farm Datacron materials, and get your survival wins with them. Do it at the end of Conquest if you have to. Wait until you've got really strong data discs, alright? I don't mean at the end of the event, I mean power through all the sectors as quickly as possible so you can build up a really good stock of data discs to enhance the capabilities of your team, then go back and finish off these globals, okay? You also need to inflict accuracy down 100 times, and we also need to gain advantage 200 times. Now, I'll talk about advantage real quick. If you've got any sort of first order team, just use them. Like, Crew's got Scarred unique ability that passes a bunch of advantage. Slacker basically guarantees advantage all the time. You could use Phasma to pass AoE advantage, throw GMY in there, spread it again. Lots of sources of advantage. Tarples is able to pass it to all of his Gungan allies when he basics. Lots of options available to you for advantage. I wouldn't say you need to focus on this one. You'll probably get it organically as you play. Accuracy down is a little bit harder. There aren't many units that do accuracy down. The easiest one to use is Cad Bane. You can throw his leadership on if you want. Every time bounty hunter allies inflict debuffs, he's going to apply accuracy, or they're going to apply accuracy down, but he also does it on his basic. So throw him in a Jabba the Hutt team, get that basic down, you'll get it. Afra's got it. Also, 8th Brother is able to do an AoE. So his first special, that AoE bomb that he throws out, that is an AoE accuracy down, not too bad. And Scout Trooper can also apply it on a basic. So number of options here. Cad Bane is definitely your best bet. Try to ingratiate it as you're going along. It will be a little bit awkward, but if you get into a situation like against Crew and you can just go auto basic, maybe if you go back and you do it in which feat, Sector 3 feats, Jabba the Hutt with Cad Bane, auto basic versus Crew. Never kill him, you'll get all of your accuracy downs and all of your blinds in one battle. Not too bad, right? Not too bad. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our high-level review of all the feats in this brand new episode of Conquest. Now, I will be doing videos for these as it comes out. As soon as it's out, every single day I'll be having a sector video, and it'll give you a bit more of a visual guide. If you've got any advice for me, please leave it in the comments section down below. But while you're there, make sure you do leave a like, consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.